Hey there, athletes. Coach John Ferry here from Team Wilpers. Incredibly excited to welcome you to the Week 1 athlete briefing for the 2024 La Jolla Half Marathon Run Program. The goal of this challenge is quite simple. So we want you to have an amazing experience at this year's La Jolla Half Marathon. The plan is going to be 12 weeks long, broken into 4 different segments. Segment 1 is a base building period, which will kickstart us for a few weeks here before we move into our general prep period. We're going to have a specific prep period where we really nail down into the nitty-gritty and really are being thoughtful about the exact requirements of the La Jolla Half Marathon, the half marathon in general, and then our competitive race period, which will be our final segment leading into the race itself. Our energy zones that we're going to be targeting. We're going to target 2 main energy zones throughout the 12 weeks of this challenge. We're going to be looking at the, first and foremost, our endurance, aka easy pace, aka aerobic workout. So on a rate of perceived exertion scale, this is somewhere about a 2 to 3 out of 10 on kind of a zone scale of a 1 to 7 or 1 to 5. Very popular these days as a buzzword. This is our zone 2 training, building that big aerobic base. Subthreshold will be our number 2 energy zone. That's going to be our half marathon pace, our marathon pace, those kind of target race paces just under threshold. There's going to be more of a rate of perceived exertion, somewhere from 4 all the way to 7 on that scale of 1 to 10 there. These 2 zones are actually both aerobic energy zones, and they're going to contribute to, once again, building that big engine that we really need to power us for the half marathon. The half marathon as an event is run over 99% aerobically, so it's absolutely going to be our main area of focus. This is first and foremost an endurance event here. Love to talk about our website a little bit and the important things that you'll find there. And first and foremost, it's going to be your paces, your pace guideline for the challenge. We're going to talk about how to enter that here in a minute. Second is going to be your workouts for each week. Those workouts will come out Friday mornings, especially for you all on the West Coast. It's going to be first thing, bright and early Friday morning. There's also a square next to each workout to check off. I would urge you to go in, check off those boxes saying, I did the workout. The best possible way to put yourself in a position to be successful in this race is to complete 100% of those workouts, or as close as possible to that 100% completion percentage. And that will kind of track week by week in the corner for you up there. So the paces provided. The paces are going to be populated based upon the result of your 20-minute distance test. That's kind of your Monday, day 1, week 1 workout. You're going to enter those using the gear icon on your pace box, which is kind of top center of your website page there. So now let's actually jump straight into the week 1 workouts, which is that 20-minute distance test. So this is the test that really sets the baseline for your challenge here. It's quite a simple test. It's as far as you can run in 20 minutes. It is a maximal effort test, so it's a tough workout here to get kickstarted in the challenge. But your pace zones will be a direct reflection of the effort put forward into that test. So I would definitely urge you to give it a really nice, strong effort. This workout can be done indoors, it can be done outdoors, it can be done on track, road, tread, etc. Whatever ultimately is easiest for you, and maybe actually the best piece of advice I could give is wherever you plan to do most of your training. It doesn't necessarily make the most sense to test indoors if you're going to do all of your training outside, and vice versa. If you're testing outdoors and going to do all your training indoors, maybe try to line up that test with where you plan to do most of your training. Here in week 1, I'd love to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about why we do performance testing, why we include it in most of our programs. And simply, it's the most accurate way to determine and kind of assign current pace ranges based on today's fitness. So it takes into account running efficiency, determination, general mental toughness, and certainly then finally pace. And so why is this so important? It's because it's really, really important to meet you where you are today and not a month ago, not a year ago. We get in that cycle a lot, I think, as athletes and runners, where we don't ever want to kind of back off of where our previous best was. But it's very, very important, especially starting a training program, that we find and meet you where you are today and kind of get those paces assigned that are appropriately. It's going to be much more beneficial. You're going to have much more fun than trying to fight back up to where you were previously. So performance testing, one of the best ways we can possibly measure that. Few tips on just how to prepare for this workout here, because you do want to do a teeny bit of prep for this test. And the prep is rest up. You want to give yourself the best shot at success here, the best opportunity to be successful. So don't come in at the end of a long, hard work day if possible. Don't try to stack this with another really difficult workout. You want to come in and give this a nice, hard, honest effort. Don't overthink it. We can get in our own ways oftentimes. It's simply run as hard as you can for 20 minutes and stop, take the distance, enter it into the box, and those are going to be our paces for a little while. We'll certainly have the opportunity to test again. It's a very low stakes workout. You're kind of doing it on your own time for your own benefit. So remember that. Don't overthink it. No holding back. This is a test that really sets your training paces to get started. So you do, once again, want to give it a good hard effort so that your training paces are really reflective of your current fitness level. And then we're not going to talk too much about strategy for a week one test, because week one tests are baseline tests. So just line up, toe your metaphorical starting line and give it a nice hard rip. We're going to go from there. We will talk about an option B, however, because if you feel that you're unable right now to do or proficiently do a 20-minute distance test, it is okay. We're giving you full ability to go in and just do an estimated distance of what you think you might be able to do at a max effort over 20 minutes. And in which case you need to enter that, once again, using the gear box on the gear icon on your pace box, and you're going to then use your paces to perform a progression run here as the first workout. There are going to be two main goals of that progression run. One is to get progressively faster over the course of the run. And two is to try out a range of paces. We're going to try out both your easy pace, your marathon pace, half marathon pace, and just a little bit faster than half marathon pace. So if you've estimated accurately, it's going to be a good way to try it out. Make sure that those pace ranges feel appropriate for what you want to do for the rest of this challenge here, or at least until we feel ready to test again. Our key run number 2 is going to be our endurance run plus stride. And so one very important thing to remember with this workout on this week is that this is still an endurance workout, aka an easy pace run. So we're going to put those strides in, but the strides, very important to remember, are not speed intervals. These are gentle accelerations where really we're just trying to open up your stride a little bit, trying to change up the rhythm of the run a little bit, and ultimately kind of work on some drills that move you towards being a more efficient runner. A workout like this is an amazing workout to actually set the stage for what's to follow, some of those bigger, harder workouts that absolutely are coming up in weeks to come. Finish the week out in terms of our key workouts with our long run, which is here in week 1, a range of 4 to 6 miles. So this is a long run. It wants to look easy, feel easy, be easy. This is not the time to run hard, to push it, to really challenge yourself. This is a time to kind of relax, lay back into it, and have some fun with this one, hopefully. Right now is really about logging time on feet. Once again, building that endurance engine that we need to power us for the half marathon. So we included a distance range. I want to touch on that a little bit, and because I get a lot of questions about how do I pick my distance based upon this range here. And the best advice I can probably give is base it upon your longest long run in the last 4 weeks. If that run is 4 miles or less, then you should really start probably at the lower end of that guidance. So we're going to work our way up. If it's 6 miles or more, absolutely feel free to start at the higher end of that guidance. And if it's significantly more than that, then maybe just stay where you are, and we might catch up with you along the way. But that's a great problem to have, is to already be kind of advanced there. There's also a range, because some days feel great and you want to do a little bit more, and other days you're just not feeling it. That happens at all levels of athletes, to all runners at some point, and sometimes more often than not. So on those days, it's okay to use the slightly lower end of that pace range, back it off a little bit, save it for another day. Finally, I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about these briefings. So for those here and those watching later, it's just a reminder, we're actually going to do these briefings every Friday afternoon for the duration of this challenge. We'll do them live here on the Facebook page. However, in addition to just kind of talking about the week to come, every Friday morning I'll put a post up on the Team Wilpers Running Facebook group to collect questions based upon how things are going, your experience with workouts, nutritional training, PT, etc. We'll answer those questions live together here during the athlete briefing. So absolutely, during the course of the week, use that page to reach out with questions, share questions, comments, successes, failures, etc. There's a big supportive group here ready to help you. So make sure to jump in there during the week, but especially on Friday mornings, post any questions you want to discuss live during the briefing on that dedicated post for the La Jolla Half Marathon. Otherwise, that is it for our week 1 briefing here. Thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to get started, and I can't wait to see you back here for week 2 next Friday. Have an amazing week 1.